Hello, it's me again, Ruth Hamilton, back with another Designer's Choice die set from Tonic Studios. This one is number 12 and it's called the Back to School Drinks Carton. I think from looking at the photos that I've put on at the beginning of the video, you can see that it's a really cute little carton, but what you don't notice from that one is how easy this is to make. So I will show you how to make it, the very basic steps to making the carton. It's so simple, there's no point in me carrying on making different designs with it, so what I've done then is cut out lots of different shapes and tried to make something a little different and show you some of the shapes from this set and what they look like when they're cut out, so that you know it's hard to tell from just looking at them here, but I'll show you them there. So first of all, there are loads of dies in this set. I have used them several times so far and I can't even manage to get them back the way they arrived because there's so many I can't get them fitted back on here. So one tip I would give you is just take a quick photograph of your die set on the acetate sheet once you get it, and that will remind you how to put them back so that they all fit on correctly. I actually normally do that, but this time I just got a bit excited by the die set and started off so quickly that I didn't get that done. So first things first, here we are with the main die in the set. That's this one, and you'll need to cut that out twice. So that's what it will look like. You've got the outside shape and then all of these are debossed lines. So I have gone ahead, cut two of them out and then reinforced all those score lines with my little folder. So all of them are going basically the same direction, except this one will just fold it over at the top. Now, there are lots of ways that you could decorate this, as you can see from the ones in my photographs. You can leave it plain, you can do it with patterned paper or whatever you like, but if you're going to cut the die shapes out to put on, it's, I think, easier to do that before you actually assemble the little box, but it doesn't make much difference, but it's just that little bit easier. So I have taken this little rectangular die and then this patterned one, and I have used this one first and then cut the pattern in, and that has given me this lovely shape here. So you can see the fruit, strawberries, whatever on there, and you can see how I've coloured that with my Nuvo markers on the one in the example. Now for this one I'm just going to keep it plain and I'm just going to show you basic steps of making up this little box. So actually all I'm going to do is glue these two on, front and back here, and then assemble the sides together, and I'll just speed the video up while I'm doing that. Now, I have cut out two of the squares with this little square die, and these are for the base. So I put one on the inside and one on the outside, and that way it keeps it nice and firm, and I just put the glue along here for this one. Turn it upside down. And then on this one, I'm just going to put the glue around the outside here and drop that down inside. And there you are. That's the little finished box there, and you can see all the detail, and it's really easily put together. It's actually really cute, and you could fill that with all sorts of things like sweets and presents and, well, just whatever you would like to put in it. So there you are. I have just used a little peg at the top of that one, but you can see from my other samples that I've used different things at the top, and you can see here there's a little die that makes a nice little slit. Now obviously you need to do all of this before you assemble the box, so this little slit would go in at this piece before you die cut, before you assemble it. And then there's this one that you can, these two actually, that you could use together, and you could put twine through there or whatever. So that's that one. Now I cut this out in marigold yellow card. It's actually Craft Perfect marigold yellow card from Tonic, obviously. And well, it's just because I like to try and do something a wee bit different with the dies. I got this idea that when I saw this shape, it reminded me of a pencil. I was thinking, back to school pencil, yeah, there's something we could do and maybe use on a card. Now I haven't gone ahead and used it on a card, but I'll show you how to make the pencil because I think it's really cute. So what I did was I cut this shape out here. Now I didn't need to do this part, so I just, to save my card, I have cut this one out in ivory. It's a ivory Craft Perfect card as well. So it's basically this part of the die here, and I have cut off all the tabs. I have cut off the side there. I hope you can still see that because it's a really strange day here. It's really, really bright one moment and dark the next, but hopefully you can see that. And I have cut off these tabs here, and I have given myself what I think is a good pencil shape. So I then cut out the same rectangle shape from here in this lovely marigold yellow card. I have used this little die because this reminded me of the top of a pencil. I don't know, maybe your mind doesn't go that way, but that's how I look at things when I get a new die set. So this one, and I used that just at the top of the marigold yellow in this shape, and I used it to set it on at the top evenly, die cut that, and I just slid it straight down in the same position and die cut that at the bottom as well. So you've got the scalloped edge here and at the bottom, and then I just went along that with my folder, my embossing tool. Actually it was my scoring tool there I used, but I went down from the top to the bottom on each of these lines just to give that a more dimensional look. And now what I'm going to do is just glue this on top here, and that's a rather neat little pencil shape, I think. But what I've also done is I took some pewter grey, I'll give you the name at the bottom of the video, card, and this dinky little triangular shape, which is actually I think for decorating some of these pieces. So it's for decorating in there, but the way my mind was going on this pencil thing, I took the die and I placed it on the card. I didn't want the full triangle, but I just placed it on here, as you can see with the wee gap below, and I cut that out in the pewter grey, and I've got what I think looks like the lead of a pencil, and I'm going to glue that on there. I'm going to actually score that, or sorry, colour the end of that just to give it a bit of dimension with 489 in the Nuvo marker, and there we have it. So I'll glue all this together, and then hopefully you'll like the little pencil shape, and you could use that on a card as well. And there you are, a nice little pencil. Now, I have used some of these other dies, and I've used them on the previous little boxes that I made, but just to show you here what they look like, there's the strawberry shape cut out. That's this one, and that's what it looks like. You can keep that nice and plain like this, or you can colour it with the Nuvo markers. In fact, I've used the Aqua Shimmer pen on top of it as well on the other box that I did. There's a little apple shape, and that is this one. Then we've got the watermelon, and that is this one. But what I've done here is I've just coloured it, see if I can grab it, like so. So to do that, I'll just show you quickly how I've done that. I have cut the shape out once, like this. I have glued it onto plain white card and then just cut around the outside of it. And then I've taken my Nouveau markers. This is the green one, and I'll just zoom that in a little bit and hopefully you can make out what I'm doing here. There we are, and the green around the outside, and then I've got some Tuscan teal just there. And I'll just add another little bit of this. Is 412, it is pea pod, and I'll just go over there again. And now I've got some tiger lily. This Nouveau marker is called tiger lily, and I'm going to cover this area here, leaving a little gap between the tiger lily and the green there of the outside of the watermelon. There we are. And then I have got some plum tomato, and I'm just going to do some strokes along there and leave the centre up at the top there lighter. So some more of this in here just to keep this a little bit darker. There you are. And then finally I've got some black crystal drops, and this is where it could all go terribly wrong if you don't just try these out properly. So just a little dab on there to make sure that they're not going to, just test a little bit first. And then into the centre, just blob and pull, drop, pull, and squeeze that and pull it out like so, there and there. And that's a rather cute little slice of watermelon, I think. Hopefully I won't drop this until it dries. So there you are, that's that. Now, there are the little cherries on there. There's a cute little butterfly. I'll probably be using that on lots of things because it's got a lovely little debossed line in the centre. It's just so easy for folding and making sure you get that in the right place. There are circle dies and an inner die here, which make this lovely shape, and that says "Hello Sweet Thing," and I have coloured it. I should just move this watermelon off, and you can see that there. So there you are. And finally, just coming back to my little pencil that I made earlier, I decided not to put it on a card, but I would make a little bookmark with it. So I have added some letters on the front, and there you are. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do that, if you want of course, but I'd love to see you back again, and I have more videos in the offing very soon. I have a couple more at the moment ready to edit, and it'd be really nice to have your company for those as well. So thanks very much for watching. I'll add all the links to the products down below, and also my affiliate links. I get a small commission from those, and it doesn't cost you anything, so if you like to use those too, I'd appreciate it. So thanks a million, and see you soon.